The big nine was not quite to be. It doesn't go out with a bang, it doesn't go out with a whimper, it goes out with a howl of anguish about time wasting. That's what it goes out with. It's a real shame Liverpool just fell short last home game of the season there. 1-1 against Aston Villa. I've got John Milburn, I've got Stu Wright. The referee's terrible. The time wasting drives me mad, and I think there's a point at which there's got to be a grown-up conversation on what we're doing about it in general in football. But I'm going to park both of those things because ultimately I just don't think Liverpool play that well, Stu. It felt like the last game of a run, even though they've not really had a busy midweek or anything. 3 or 4 of the bigger performers that you need to step up don't quite step up. And then you don't win against a decent, tidy, very well organised outfit. That's football. All the other stuff, all the emotion, the referee, the anguish we'll come on to. But ultimately, that is the long and short of this one. Liverpool don't quite play well enough to deserve all 3 points.
You know, I think that's exactly right. I mean, I'm glad you're going to park the referee thing because I'm so tired of talking about the standard of refereeing in this country. It's absolutely abysmal. And until they do something where they stop the clock, until they do the whole like 60 minutes of the ball in play or something like that, this is just going to be endless. This is just going to continue.
It's getting worse. That was the point. It is getting worse.
It is, and it's just a green light for any team who want to do that until something's done about it. And you've got to say, you know, for Villa, they came with a game plan. It was Mourinho-esque in its housery, its levels of housery, and they nearly pulled it off. And we did nothing really to really scupper their game plan. We didn't do enough in the game. Not enough players played well. In fact, too many of them played quite poorly. So it was all just a bit flat really for the end of the season. You know, the one little highlight, the one thing you can take away is Bobby got his moments, and you know that'll be my takeaway from this, that he had his moments to shine in, to get one last bow, one last moment of adoration from us all, because his career at Liverpool has absolutely deserved it. So I'm glad for him he got that. But the Reds didn't deserve to finish in the top 4 this season. They didn't. I was sceptical. You know, I was sceptical for the last few months whether they could, and I've tried to avoid the big 9 as much as I possibly could. I said on a show a few weeks ago that I'd look at the league table the night before the last game of the season and see if we had a sniff, and it's done with now, and it's all on the Blues. It's all on the Blues now.
Well, Stu, Nottingham Forest happening behind us. Don't worry at all. We'll get round. The idea of just not playing well, John, you know, that to me is, and I don't think there's any sort of, I don't think there's any grand reason for that. I don't think there's necessarily even that Villa play really well and stop Liverpool's better players, although I think they do play well, Villa. I don't think there's something in the idea of, the system stopped working. I don't think that either. It wasn't a lack of commitment, it wasn't a lack of effort. It was a bit of one of those where sometimes it's just not your day. And Liverpool, 4 or 5 of Liverpool's most important players in this system, this way we're playing, it just wasn't their day. Kanate, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah, Diaz. I think those 4 in particular, I'm not balling anyone out, I'm not saying anyone was dreadful or anything like that. They just were, it just didn't flow for them all day. They never got going, any of them.
Yeah, they often talk about the rub of the green and the ball bouncing your way. It just never felt like we were ever in a situation where the ball came our way and we got a bit of luck or we got a bit of advantage. I was quite impressed with Villa today. I thought that they defended well. They knew when to take time out the game, and they did that really, really effectively. I think they played on a soft referee, and like again, maybe we'll talk about that a bit later on about how that rule can be exploited, but they took it to the absolute limit. Fair play to them. Reminded me very much of Chelsea 2014 vibes. And I was in the cop and I was trying to get people around me to stop reacting. You know, every time the goalkeeper went down and clutched it, don't react, because that's exactly what they want you to do. And like, unfortunately, I'm one man. I cannot will the whole of the cop to not react to such events.
I was livid, by the way, if you want to do it when you reacted, when they all shouted shoot to Van Dijk, when there was 8-9 minutes of injury time played and people shouted shoot. I was going to blow at that moment. I was going to explode.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.